Happy Wednesday and welcome back to my back to school series. Wow. This series is just really showing off how flexible I am. In this video, I'm gonna tell you guys about 6 things. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 things that I really wish that I knew going into my freshman year. They could have saved my social life, my time, my GPA, and a bunch of other stuff, so we're just gonna dive right into it. You're welcome in advance. I'm starting right off the bat with what I think is one of, if not the most important ones that I'm going to cover in this video, especially if you're about to go to Dartmouth. I go to Dartmouth. I know a lot of you are 23s, or I don't know, maybe you're already at Dartmouth. I don't know. It doesn't matter where you are. I'm mumbling. Sorry, this is important. Always be aware of a pass-fail option. Always, always. A lot of schools nowadays offer you the option to take a select number of courses or certain courses for pass-fail. Dartmouth, we have something called an NRO, so if your course is not on a list of certain courses that are un-NROable or is not a course for your major, you are allowed to take it pass-fail. And what's cool about the NRO is you can set a grade limit in advance. So say if you want it to count towards your GPA and on your transcript, if you get at or above a B+ or an A-, you can set the limit as the B+ or the A- or whatever you choose. And if you get below that as a final grade, it will just say pass on your transcript. It won't count towards your GPA or anything, but it will count as a credit on your transcript. But if you get above that threshold, you will get the letter grade on your transcript and it will count towards your GPA. I always forgot about this because the deadline to apply for it or to submit the form is like a week into the quarter, and I just would get distracted and always forget. Because here's the thing, if you're a STEM student, even if you're not a STEM student, it's mostly only applicable for prereqs. As I mentioned before, you can't use it in any class for your major, but you can use it for your prereqs. Most of the classes I took this year were prereqs. Boy, was that second calculus course, the multivariable one, a curveball. Wowza. I ended up not doing bad in that class. Like, I wasn't below the median or anything. Like, I did fine, but during the course, it felt like I was dying. And to know that I could have had that cushion to fall back on, but I just didn't take advantage of it because I realized the deadline a little too late sucked, and it could have made my freshman winter a lot better. Please look into your school and see if it has that option for any of your courses. Number 2, dorm parties suck. Straight up telling you right now, random dorm parties, trying to stumble upon those is the worst. Whether you choose to be dry or not is totally up to you. I know so many people who go to parties that never take a sip of juice, and that's fine. But parties are a thing at college, and there are different kinds of parties. There are clubs, there are frat parties, there are dorm parties, there are house parties, and that's just a fact. It all depends on your school scene. Dorm parties are the worst. And here's why. You can never fit more than a handful of people comfortably and safely in a dorm room. Plus, you got the threat of an RA breathing down your neck, not even necessarily for having any undisclosed liquids in there, but just for like noise levels and tiny stuff like that, and that anxiety from that possibly happening and you getting in trouble, and like, that's just not worth it. Now, when I say dorm party, I'm not talking about like a kickback with your friends. Like, that's totally different. When I say dorm party, I'm talking about like wandering aimlessly through residence halls through the night, just trying to find somewhere where someone is playing loud pop music and trying to have fun. My friends and I tried to do this once or twice during the frat ban. At Dartmouth, you can't go into the frats for the first 6 weeks of the year. And it was the worst, and it was just not fun, and it was just better to stay in. And that's my take. Okay, number 3 is really important for anyone out there who's looking to make new friends at college and is getting anxious about that or anything along those lines. In my experience, in my personal opinion, friendships, especially in college when you're surrounded by so many amazing people, are quality over quantity. Now, that's not to say that you shouldn't go out and try to meet new people and network and all that stuff. I mean, you're in college, you're surrounded by a bunch of really cool people. In my personal experience as a human being on this planet with friendships, in the situation where I had a close circle over a very large spread out one, I personally feel a lot happier having the closer circle. Because the friends that I have today, I know are real, I know this will last, and I know that I can always go to them and they'll always be there for me. That's kind of what a true friendship is. You don't want to miss out on those by freaking out about missing out on other things. I know it's kind of a paradox, but big takeaway is quality over quantity for friendships and relationships, but you know, at the end of the day, keep meeting new people. You never know who you're gonna stumble upon. Number 3. You are probably going to struggle. When people say college is harder than high school, they're not joking. Even if you went to a really hard like boarding school or something and you really pushed yourself in high school and you were so smart, even if the amount of time you invest into your work the first year of college isn't much different than the time you invested in high school, the material is going to be harder and you're living on your own and there's so much more to balance and figure out. College is such a time for your own personal growth that sometimes it's hard to keep up with everything academically. And that's something that no one really talks about, you know. People always make videos on how to get straight A's and how to be a great student. No one ever really talks about, you know, going through that struggle when you're not, and when you're putting in all the effort you can and you're not seeing results, how to deal with that. No one ever tells you how to get your first B. I can make a whole video on this if you want, but I'm telling you right now, you're probably not going to be perfect. Strive to do as best as you can, but if you're not perfect, it's not the end of the world. What matters is the kind of person you become in the process. I think that your work ethic, intrinsic motivation, and eagerness to learn are the most important things, and as long as you're developing those 3 things, you'll be okay. Kind of transitioning into that, number 5. Taking honors and accelerated courses and loading up your schedule super hard first term, first year isn't always the move. It is for some people, and I respect the hustle. Heck, I did it. I took an honors course my first term at Dartmouth, but it's not always necessary. I have gotten so many DMs from future 23s over the past few weeks asking me about if they should take an accelerated math course, bio course, chem course, physics course, whatever, their first year. And my answer always pretty much boils down to only take it if you are genuinely very passionate about the subject and want to be surrounded and challenged by people who are as well. These courses are not going to be easy, they're going to move very fast, and they're going to cover a lot of materials, but if you're willing to invest all the time and energy into them, they can be very rewarding. Forcing yourself to take a class that you're not super interested in just to try to make your transcript look good your first year of college, I don't know, I don't think that's worth it. Do what you love, or at least what you enjoy. 5, 6, the best study technique with STEM classes especially, like getting even more particular with math and physics and like chemistry and stuff, the best study technique for that, as annoying as it is to literally redo everything. Especially at Dartmouth where terms go by so fast. Like a term is only 9 or 10 weeks long at Dartmouth. You're zooming through material. It's really easy to miss the minute details that turn out to be very important later on. A huge pain in the butt, but whenever I do it, I see tremendous payoff in my grade. Going back and rewatching lectures, rewriting your notes, redoing all of your homework problems. That is the best way to study, and I've sat down with professors before after getting not the grade I wanted on a test or a midterm or whatever, and asked them, look, I want to do better, how can I do that? And that is always what they recommend, and it's a real force, but if you can do it, if you can work that into your study schedule, which isn't that hard if you stretch it out over like a week or 2 leading up to the exam, you will see tremendous payoff. Hustle, man. You gotta hustle, it's college. And number 7. The last thing that I really wish I knew going into my freshman year was that you made the right choice. All my subscribers out there, you're subscribed to me, and I see your comments, I get your DMs, I know how smart you all are, I know you put so much thought and effort in the college decision process. Where you ended up or where you are going to end up in a few years if you're not in college yet is going to be the right place. And if it's not, I know you're smart enough to figure out where that place is and how to bounce back. It's gonna be okay, it really is. And if it's not, there are so many people who are gonna be around you that you can look to for help. And on that note, I am going to cut this video off. I will see you tomorrow for the next video in our back to school series. Oh my god, this is so exciting. If you wanna see the other videos, just click on my name down there, scroll through. There will maybe be a playlist in the description. I don't know. Leave a comment and stuff. I'm so mumbly. Like and subscribe. Hope you have a great day. Goodbye.